What up, you guys? Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to be popping on live. It's been a hot minute. I have a super fun guest that I'm excited to introduce you guys to today. But if you are joining me live, Carrie coming at you. We're going to talk a little bit about texting today. So, text message marketing guru. Happy 2023. I'm excited. I'm just excited about all the things that are coming this year. My head is just spinning a mile a minute, but I feel like that's the way we all should be heading into a brand new year, right? We have goals, we have audacious things that we're tackling. So if you are here joining us, say hello, say what up. I always ask, this is like my famous question I love to know. Where are you joining from? If you are joining me from somewhere hot and sunny, do not comment. I don't want to know because I'm super jealous. I'm up here in Jersey. It's just like we're in the troves of winter and I'm not loving it. I'm made for the beach. I'm made for warm weather and the sun. So if you catch this later, drop me a hashtag replay so that I knew you were here. My guest today, we're going to talk a little bit about her business and how she is using text messaging to, connect with clients and customers and team and all the things. I'm excited to have her share a little bit. This is like something that I'm super passionate about. You're going to see me sharing more and more about this in 2023 because texting, y'all, is just the way to go. Businesses are using it. And I would love to know in the comments, like, are you getting texts from companies? Are you noticing that they're all jumping on board? Some of them doing it better than others, some of them a little spammier than others. Hence, I don't teach spam, but they're doing it because why? Texts they're to your phone. They're popping up on our iWatches. My texts, I don't know about you, Krista, my texts pop up on the dashboard of my car. My kids are like, so-and-so texted you. I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. So if you guys can relate and you see all this happening and you're on here listening and you're a business owner, right? If you own a business, you need to be building a text list. Just throwing that out there. You could be a network marketer, a social seller, a brick and mortar business owner, all of them need texting. So without further ado, because I know you guys don't always want to just hear my mouth running, I'm excited to introduce you to Krista. We connected online in 2022. We stayed in touch ever since. She incorporated texting. So I want you to hear from someone that, is, I guess we're going to call you like a novice texter, right?
Yes.
Like you started a few
Yes.
months ago. So I'm going to let her dive in and tell you a little bit about herself. And then we're just going to chit chat a bit. So Krista, what's up,
All
girl? I
right.
don't even know where you're at. Where do you live?
Hey, I'm in New Mexico. So
Ooh.
it's supposed to be kind of sunny and warm here most of the time. We're kind of in the desert, and it's not. It's freezing outside today. So yeah.
Who would have thought? If I heard desert, I would be like, yes, it's warm.
Yeah, no, it's not. So I am a retired educator. I was an educator for 27 years, but also single mom for a really long time. And I've had a network marketing direct sales business for probably the last 16 years. The company that I'm with right now, I've been with them 4.5, and I've been retired for the last 3. So this has been my full-time gig, and Carrie made it a lot easier on me whenever we met in 2022. So can you believe that was last year?
I know, right? And
Right.
oh my gosh, as you're like telling me about or telling us about yourself, I'm like, check, single mom, check,
Mhm.
educator, check. Wait, what did you teach? I didn't even know you were a teacher, I don't think.
Yeah, I taught elementary school and middle school both,
Okay,
and was an instructional coach for 5 years. So
sweet.
did a little bit of all of that stuff. So
Awesome.
yeah.
So can I ask before you dive in, like what got you into like direct sales and stuff?
Well, whenever it started about 16 years ago, it was because I had to have that extra income, and I had to have some other way to help support me and some other little beings that were in my home. So that
Gotcha.
was it, because even having a master's degree wasn't cutting it for us.
Ooh, you had a master's too.
Hmm.
I always saw the teachers that were getting masters and I was like, but you know what? I'm so glad I didn't because when I left the profession, I don't teach anymore, y'all. But when I left, I mean, that would have been a lot of extra money I would have been paying for that degree. And yeah,
Right. Yep.
network marketing was the way
Yeah.
to
Right.
go. But
Right.
all right, so yeah, tell us how you what was the allure, what was the appeal of adding texting to your business and like, what's it kind of looking like?
Well, I've had some team members. I have a pretty large team, and I've had some team members talk to me about how they've been successful with texting, not testing. I'm back in education. um, so I kept thinking, this is something that I didn't feel like I could learn, but because of Carrie, you can teach an old dog new tricks. And so I have set up a couple of texting groups. One of them is for my team. Like I said, they're a pretty large group. And not everybody sees a Facebook post, right? Not even in a team page where you have notifications on. Things are happening. You miss notifications, you miss things going on. And sometimes there's important information that they need to know. So that is one thing that has helped a whole lot, is to be able to have a text list for my team. So that has been amazing and awesome for sure. But in the
Love that.
business I'm in, I do live demos, and I can't go live every single day. That's my plan. Sometimes it works better in the morning. Sometimes it works better in the afternoon. So I also have a live text list because people want to know, when are you going to be on, so that I don't miss it, or I know I need to go catch a replay or whatever. So so I have that list as well. And then there's just the good old overarching list for my VIPs, where I can add, I'm sorry, now my dog's decided to come here and get a drink.
Oh,
She's
you
all,
are good.
but I'm able to add some value now. Carrie helped with that, so that it's not spammy and it's not icky, and it's not just like, okay, yeah, we'll look and see if we want to buy anything, or they just opt out because it's just in their face all the time about sales. So that's been super helpful as well.
Oh my gosh, my mind is like racing now. This is what I do. I like hear something and I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to know more. Okay, so the team thing, I feel like there are so many people out there that can probably relate to Facebook notifications right now, like groups especially, or let's just say life in general. We get so busy. So I love that you mentioned that you're sharing with them, like, to not miss something. Like that is such a brilliant idea, because I have people that tell me like, oh, did you see the post here? No, and it's not in my notifications. Like, I'm getting nothing. So love that. And then the live thing, that is genius. You tell them what you do. You need to tell them what you do, because
So
when she told me what she does, I'm like, oh my God, that sounds so cool.
So I text sometimes 15, but really it works better if I give people a 5-minute notice. Hey, I'm going to go live in 5 minutes. Sometimes I go live on a business page. Sometimes I go live on my own personal page, and sometimes in my VIP group. So I can always just give them the link to where I'm going to be in my text message and say, I'm going to be live in 5 here. I hope that you don't miss it. Or I have a big announcement, or you're going to love today's demo of whatever product I'm using, so that they kind of already have an idea. And one of the things that I've noticed whenever I do that is even people who aren't on my text list happen to see it more often. And so it has bumped up my views by a lot just by texting a few people. I have a whole lot more people on my list, or that are on my views. So
Yeah, no, I love that. And that's honestly probably the algorithm, right? Like, so she's hitting everybody up like, hey, I'm live, come join me. The algorithm sees all of them join, and then they're like, yo, this must be a popular video because she has a bunch of people on. So then it's pushing it more. So I love that. And doing the demos and like hitting them up in different areas, genius. And then the third thing that you said you were doing was like your VIPs, like just keeping them kind of in the loop. And that's like the beauty of text, y'all. So text is intimate and personal, and you're able to build connections and relationships, right? So for all of her VIPs to feel like a true VIP, right, that they're getting this like personal text message, which the cool thing about the texting that I teach people how to do and what Chris is doing, it's a two-way street. Like, if I got a text from Bath and Body Works, I'm not going to respond because it's like a computer. Like, nobody's responding. The texting that like we're doing is a two-way street. Like, you can have a conversation, you can, drive them to more value, like whatever. So I love that.
Yeah. I do have some people who it takes just a little while that they for them to understand that it's not the typical group message where if they respond, 40 people aren't going to see it or whatever, that it's actually just a response to me. But once they do, it opens up a whole new way and a whole new dialogue of communication with them. So that
I
has
love
been
that.
awesome as well. Yeah.
So I guess my one question I have is like, do you have like business hours that you're running your text? Because it is y'all an app on your phone. So you're not getting individual texts, right? It's just an app. So do you go in there certain times of the day or?
I love to be able to schedule a text, and I try to send them out more afternoon unless there is something super pertinent. Typically, the team would be someone who wouldn't get something on a certain schedule because something has just come up that they need to know about. But for customers, I am sending things more afternoon and evening and getting really, really good, great response. And I love that I can schedule that to go out, and I can think about it at 7 a.m., but I can schedule it to go out at 4 p.m. or something.
I love that. All right. And then my last question, what was like, if somebody was on here and they were like, I don't know, do I need this in my business? Or they're just like, what is this? Like, what was like your biggest like aha moment? Like, you know, like what were you like, dude, like this is just like a no-brainer, or I don't know.
Well, I think part of that came from your group in just that you continue to add value all the time to that group. And I've learned so much that I feel like, and it's been in the right increment of time. You know, I've like, okay, I've mastered this and now I can add on this next layer. So that's been amazing. But being able to have a landing page where people can come and, you know, where it's several different things of information, I can have links, I can have different things there. That has been huge. And then to be able, we have a product release on Friday. So I've been able to build a campaign so that things kind of drip out and trickle to people just in little bits and pieces. And that's amazing as well. So
Listen, this lady here went from, I was gonna say this girl here, this woman here went from in the beginning de-edifying herself like an old dog new tricks. Like you just spit that out like you've been doing this for 5 years, girl. Just saying. You're not giving yourself enough credit. So, all right, very last question. And those of you that don't know me, I ask a lot of questions. What are you like, what do you foresee in 2023? Like what's something that like you foresee this like building your business throughout the year, or you know, your projection?
Right. Well, I did start with um, the live tag so that I could just tell people whenever I was live. And then I was like, oh, well, people might want to know when something's on sale. But as far as having just a big core group, that has been slow for me to build. So that's my main target in, at least in the beginning of 2023, is to get that main core group going so that it's not just about one thing or the other, but I can truly add value to people who love my product. So that's where I'm headed.
I love it. I love it, love it, love it. Well, I appreciate you taking time out of your busy schedule to come hang out with me for a while. If y'all were on here, throw her some love for being on here. You guys can go and check out what she's doing, all her demos and stuff, which I think are freaking amazing. Just saying. I have, if you are interested in getting started with the texting, I have a boot camp coming up. We're going to do a little 5-day boot camp to like rev people up and get going into 2023 here. So you can drop the word boot camp below this video. I'll also throw some info above. I also recently threw a guide together because I have so many people asking to get people started with text and ideas for getting people off of social. So if you want to grab my guide for my 3 ways to get people on your text list, you could drop the word guide below this video. And of course, feel free to share this out into, you know, your team messenger chat or into a team page, or anyone that, you know, could use texting in their business in 2023, which I think is everyone. Just saying. Everyone needs to be using texting if you have a business. So appreciate you guys so much. Have a great day.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Krista. Bye.